Get over here!
Nice, Franz! Damn!
You know what game I honestly am not that into?
What?
I really don't care for Cards Against Humanity.
I don't blame you for that one, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I will still play it with friends and have a good time because I like my friends.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like, I will have fun with them, but I don't think it's a very good game.
It is one of those games that's kind of gotten into the realm of absurd, but, like, not the good kind of absurd, I'll admit.
Yeah.
I enjoy it from time to time, personally, especially because I know my wife really enjoys it. We actually had a time, like, playing with her parents, believe it or not, and they had a blast.
And that's, like, what it's best for, is for people who, you know, aren't really game people.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, like, there's one, in a similar vein, I think... What is that, like... I don't remember this. What's, that, series where it's, like, a bunch of, like, square dudes with, like, round heads and, like, stringy, limbs, and, like, they do a bunch of, like, joke animations and shit?
I'm not following you. Are you talking about, like, the Cyanide and Happiness?
Thank you!
Okay, so, like...
They made a game.
Okay.
Like, they made a tabletop game, and from what I'm to understand, it's not bad.
How did I get Cyanide and Happiness from that? Dang. We should play charades.
Dude, I think it's been established far, like...
Damn.
I think it's been established a long time ago that you and I can be on the same wavelength.
Same
all
brain
right?
cell.
Like,
yeah.
you and I, like, tend to do that a lot.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, if you didn't get it, I was going to recite one of the, like, I'm personally, like, speaking of things that I'm not really all that into, I'm not actually into Cyanide and Happiness all that much. I
haven't seen too many of them yet.
It's a little bit too ridiculous for me. But, one skit I remember actually really enjoying from, Cyanide and Happiness was, the quartet pretending to be doctors.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
Did they do that? I know there's a Family Guy bit that's also that. But they might both have a bit like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Hayden, you're actually not as good as I had thought you were.
Family Guy has the, like, well, sir, we're not sure how... We got some bad news for you, so rather than give you the straight diagnosis, we're gonna have these men explain, and they come, and you have AIDS. Yes, you have AIDS. Not HIV, but full-blown AIDS.
Well, that didn't work. I tried. Yeah, Hayden's not working out. Thankfully, Artur is here to clean stuff up. So those of you in the comments, stop me if you've heard this one before, but you can't because this will be far in the past.
Leave a comment telling Oscar to stop.
Oh, well, the game wants me to stop.
Oscar, stop!
But the Cyanide and Happiness skit that I remember the most is, like, the quartet, like, pretending to be doctors, and he's like, Scalpel, here you go, oh my god! And then it flatlines. And then they're like, if only we were doctors, doctors.
Does the flatline harmonize with
It
them?
does.
Oh my gosh. I do kind of love that.
No, it's actually a really good one. Like,
I see the potential.
Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Cyanide and Happiness, but that skit in particular killed me when
I'm not
I
the
saw
biggest
it.
fan of Family Guy, but, like, a good bit is a good bit.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least
like,
a memorable bit.
That's the thing with Family Guy for me personally, is, like, I'm not a fan of Family Guy either, but when they get some good bits, they have some really good bits.
I mean, when you have, like, 70 jokes per episode, you're gonna hit on some good stuff eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're, like, Mr. Burcham.
I have to, like, I am actually going to thank Family Guy for starting my trend of doing those, like, silly little skits on my channel, because the first one I did was, if you could have any woman in the world, who would it be?
Oh, yeah, the,
Muriel Hemingway. Aw, come on, really? That's not a good choice. So jagged. No, I think she's really... No. I think she's really attractive in a classical kind of way. Yeah, but you could cut a roast on her face.
You
That
don't
one.
think power is sexy. None of you think power is sexy.
How about you, Peter? Oh, like you gotta ask. The chick with the 3 knockers from Total Recall. Interesting. I never saw that movie.
You know one of them is paper mache. Oh, really? Yes, I know it's paper mache.
I don't care. What's wrong with you? And what about you, Quagmire? Taylor Hanson. Taylor Hanson's a guy. Oh, you guys are yanking me. Oh, hey, let's pull one over on old Quagmire. No, he's really a guy, Quagmire. Oh my god.
This one... There's something where they're, like, talking about something, and Quagmire starts talking about the old sitcom Wings. And that's always a really memorable one.
Oh gosh, I don't remember that one.
Wings was a sitcom. It was an obscure sitcom about a guy who was a pilot, and his son has died, and his son also used to be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And the character Quagmire is also a pilot, so that's probably why he likes it.
Oh, okay. I don't even...
But it's he runs off because he's like, can't believe none of you heard of Wings. Love Wings.
Shows how much like Family Guy I watched, because I didn't know Quagmire was a pilot.
Oh yeah, that's his job.
Yeah, way over my head. Did not know that.
Yep. I have seen a lot of it, and I did used to like it a lot more back in like the Adult Swim days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the show got worse or I got older. Probably both.
Probably both.
But I don't find it as funny anymore. But
I'm gonna be real with you. That was basically my whole spiel with The Simpsons. I actually do think The Simpsons had some really, really good stuff in the early days, but this is the series that coined the term Flanderization.
yeah. Now, Futurama, I will go to bat for Futurama.
Oh, Futurama, I think, is like one of those shows that actually remain consistent throughout.
I think
it's
Futurama's
still good even
a
now. Even
great
now.
show. Yeah.
Oh no, like I don't disagree with you in the slightest.
This latest like Hulu venture maybe is a little bit more hit and miss, but I don't know. We need to give it a little more room to breathe, I think.
Yeah, no, I think Futurama is a really solid show. Like I personally am not the biggest fan of it myself, like, mainly because I just don't watch it.
It's not your cup of tea. That's fine.
It's not, but like of the like. I think we've had like a similar discussion in the past. Like of all the adult cartoons that I've seen,
yeah,
that one's one that I would not mind like sitting down every once in a while and watching. Again,
yeah.
like I think the show that was more tailored towards like an older audience that I actually enjoyed was King of the Hill.
I love King of the Hill. Yeah.
King of the Hill's great. Like King of the Hill's great. Like and I know you really like BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, BoJack Horseman is probably one of my favorite shows ever.
And honestly, like I don't blame you, because I actually ended up checking it out a bit after you were talking about it, and honestly, I can see it. It is a really good show.
Yeah, BoJack Horseman honestly helped me a lot because like
did it?
Because one of the characters in it, Todd Chavez, is Ace, and they like put a lot of focus on like that. Really was a big part of me like understanding that I'm Ace, because it's the only show I've ever seen. I know there are other ones out there, but that like has an Ace character and like really kind of examines it a lot.
It was like the first example you've seen in media that really delved into the nitty gritty
and
of
like
it.
Yeah, I like kind of didn't even know it was a thing before that. Like Todd's this kind of funny side character. He's mostly around for shenanigans. Oh, that's a...
Yep, that's a maxed out Gilliam.
At the beginning of the series, he's like the stoner guy who's always sleeping on Bojack's couch. And
Yeah.
He like most of the time doesn't have a real job, but he's like such a nice guy, he ends up helping everybody else. And he and Bojack have this falling out because we meet Todd's old girlfriend, who he hasn't seen in years, and Bojack's like trying to hook the two of them up, but Todd's just being kind of like he's really happy to see her and he cares a lot about her, but like gets kind of like antsy whenever they're like alone together.
Yeah.
Because she's like making moves and he's not.
Oh, okay.
And Bojack, like, gets them a hotel room together, and he's just kind of like, I think there's more, like, ice cream in the bar. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of ice cream. Like, he's, like, deflecting. And part of Todd and Bojack's falling out is because his friend ends up sleeping with Bojack because, like, she feels rejected, and then, like, Bojack's depressed about some other stuff, so
they just end up...
And Todd feels really betrayed by that. But at the end of that season, then, like, he, like, makes amends with his friend. He wasn't really mad at her, but, like, things had gotten awkward.
Yeah,
and
of course.
she's like, hey, like, I accept you no matter what, Todd, but I just, like, I need to know, like, are you gay or what? And he says, I don't think I'm anything. And that's, like, where they leave his character at the end of Season 3.
Huh.
And then Season 4 opens, and he... there's a couple episodes before we really focus on Todd again.
Yeah.
But there's then an episode devoted to Todd called Yay, a Todd episode. Where he's helping everybody with their problems, and everybody's like, well, you don't have anything going on, right? Go do this for me. And he's getting, like, run ragged. And he keeps talking about, like, I got this meeting I really, like, need to go to tonight. And everybody's like, you don't need to, blah, blah, blah. They, like, because they're all celebrities, they, like, have him, like, pose as the boyfriend of this one actress because they're trying to, like, improve her image by showing she has, like, a down-to-earth boyfriend. And he, like, agrees to do that even though it's all a sham and stuff like that. And at the end, he finally, like does something for himself and, like, and like, flakes out on one of the many things people are making him do against his will to go to his meeting, and it's a asexual support group.
Wow.
And then it starts talking about what asexuality is. And it's, like, really, yeah.
Go figure.
He goes through a phase where, like, his friend even is like, where it is even like, hey, I still like hanging out with you, but, like, I'm looking for, like, a boyfriend, and since you're asexual, and at first he's like, why do you have to call it that? Why do we, like, I just don't want to, like, put a label on it, but he, like, comes around to liking it, and ends up making him feel better.
It's just like, you know, nothing wrong with it being called this. And like, who knows? Maybe it is, you know?
And he ends up, by the end of the series, finding love with another ace person. And it's not even, like, the first other ace person he dates, too, because before that he dates another person who he kind of just does because they're the first, like, compatible ace people they've met, but they don't, like, have anything in common. And Todd realizing, like, hey, I don't need to, like, compromise what I want in life just because there's, like, finally one. He, like, invents a ace dating app.
Okay, so
Bojack Horseman's a really good show, anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to use my last rescue charge here because while I trust Gilliam to handle this and that, I'm a little scared of this. You remember the last time he dealt with magic?
Yeah. Okay. No, I think that's a good move. Yeah, and I know there's other Ace media out there, but I haven't really come in contact with as much of it.
I'm actually curious. Their range is the same. Yeah, we're just gonna have to deal here. Yeah, those moguls are a bit of a problem. But I'm gonna have Franz deal with him, and we'll see what those moguls do from there. In the meantime, whew, boy.
200 gold, sweet.
So, in light of us talking about TV shows, right?
Yeah.
On the super off hypothetical chance that they ever decide to do, like, a TV series on Fire Emblem.
Okay, yeah.
What game do you think would have the most potential for a really, really good series?
I think different Fire Emblem games would kind of lend themselves to different, like, styles and genres a little bit. Of course, my favorite would be, like, a really well-done Tellius series.
Oh, yeah.
But if they want to be a little more flashy and a little more, like, like sparkly anime, I think Awakening would be the place to start.
That would be a good one, actually, because, like, my immediate thought is, like, if they're aiming to, like, really get profit margins up there and be like, oh, yeah, like, we're totally going to, like, make this happen, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be very popular, I would say Three Houses would be the way to go. And I
Three
think...
Houses would be interesting. They'd have to figure out what plot points to actually do.
Yeah, that therein is like kind of the risk is like if you do end up doing Three Houses, like how exactly would you go about that in terms of like what like plot points would they actually like quote unquote make canon, as it were.
They would never do this because it would be expensive to produce.
Yeah.
But like, what if they were actually, like, splitting seasons of television?
Oh, that would be kind of crazy to think about.
That would be, like, a weird experiment in television, in anime.
Which, to be fair, was a weird experiment in Fire Emblem. I mean, we saw what happened with Fates.
Yeah. I just had to say this. I know both of us know it, but there was a, Fire Emblem OVA way back in the day. With Mars.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and it was a thing!
And there was an English translation where they called him Mars.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was, like, the earliest of 90s anime.
Mm-hmm. Gosh darn, these guys do 30 damage to Gilliam. I don't think Franz does much better, to be honest. Although with the Brave Lance, he won't take a hit.
I think we have to Brave Lance it.
And with that Brave Lance, we can like trade out for another weapon with Gilliam afterwards, so that it doesn't fully run out, so that he can handle that spider.
Yeah. All
right, we're good.
Yeah, we're getting a little low on supplies here.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
I know we have more weapons on other characters, at least.
Okay, so hear me out on this one, right? Going back to the question.
All right, give me the pitch.
For me, I think they could have a really good series, that, like, sort of like Game of Thrones. I know we say Tellius is probably, like, the more Game of Thrones-esque one. Honestly, Genealogy of the Holy War.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Like, you want a really good Shakespearean tragedy series that spans different continents and has, like, so many different, like, you know, like, basically, like, twine on a cork board scenario going on with a series. Genealogy has way more, like, a lot of potential with that.
That would be fun, because also that game's old enough that I think, like, they would kind of have to, like, come up with new takes on some of these characters to make them less flat.
Yeah, and
I'd be interested, like Castlevania, the animated series.
Yeah.
Like, took like Sifa and Alucard and Trevor in a different direction.
Yeah, they didn't even include Grant.
Yeah.
Like, they made him a city. Which was an interesting... Which just sucks, because I kind of like Grant, but I think also at the same time my like for Grant kind of came from Judgment a little bit, I'll admit. So, you know, take that for what you will.
A part of me respects the, like, kill your darlings strategy of, like, one more character wasn't really needed for the main group, so why make one for no reason?
Honestly, like, making the main group a trio, I do think paved the way for much cleaner writing.
Yeah.
So I definitely can see that being the case.
I'm definitely not watching the show feeling like something's missing.
Mm-hmm. And going to Genealogy of the Holy War, right? In a similar vein to the fact that, like, you know, oh, like, this is like it's old enough that, like, you know, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of, like, you know, different directions that they can take this, right?
Yeah.
In a similar vein, enough people don't know the plot of Genealogy of the Holy War to the point where there's going to be a huge part of the audience, like, if they go into that, who's like, oh snap, like, I didn't know this was going to go in this direction.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this went in that direction? Wow, that is so tragic.
And then we can start seeing a lot more Sigurds at Comic-Con.
And then those fans who do know are gonna tune in because they want to see that Arvis betrayal scene.
Yeah.
Cause holy smoke, dude. Like, if they
you know about the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. Like, that is like the video game equivalent of the Red Wedding.
Yeah, like the Arvis's betrayal. It's funny because he's red.
Yeah.
Arvis's betrayal is basically the Red Wedding, of Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. Like, it is a brutal scene.
Yeah.
Which is also why I really want them to remake Genealogy of the Holy War in HD, because can you imagine that scene?
I'd love
like,
to see what they do with an actual
animation.
cutscene. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. That would be tragic as fuck,
Yeah.
and I want to see that!
Because in a way, in part I do kind of like when cutscenes, like, play out in the game's, like, grid system, in the game's UI. Like, that could be really cool. But at the same time, I could also see that happening in full cutscene.
Oh yeah. By the way, can I just say, Glenn's performing! He's actually doing really well. Okay, we're gonna switch you over to a,
Making a case for Grado over Frelia here.
We're gonna equip you with the Killer Lance instead now. And Mulder, you keep doing what you do, buddy.
Mulder maybe will get you up to a bishop by the end of this. By the end of these ruins, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, man.
He's a humble man. He doesn't need to promote.
But yeah, that's my pitch for a, like, if they ever adapt a Fire Emblem game to TV, make a Genealogy of the Holy War. And hey, by extension, if it becomes successful, they have the perfect sequel series, Thracia 776.
Yeah, then you do Thracia exclusive to Amazon Prime.
That's terrible.
That's what they would do. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like such an old man today.
Here's the thing, though. I hate that you're right.
Yeah.
Okay? I hate that you're right. But, oh my god. I can dream here, man.
I've become very... There's good stuff on Amazon Prime. It's okay.
I'm not saying that there's
business.
not good stuff on Amazon Prime. I'm saying the exclusivity kind of sucks.
I've become very aware lately while consuming media, like, what everything costs to make. That's, like, what the last 5 years of, like, video games and movies and stuff have shown me. There's been a lot of, like, between the pandemic and then the writer's strike and stuff like that, there's been a lot of stuff that just, like, is kind of a skeleton of what its creators wanted it to be.
Oh, yeah, like, without a doubt.
And now, like, to make something, you need to basically plan it for the streaming wars. It's very easy to be cynical about stuff.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, and I mean, I won't rant about it too bad, but, like, the MCU... I love the MCU, but, like... It didn't go bad immediately after Endgame, in my opinion. Like, I think the movies are still hit and miss. None of them... Very few of them are downright bad. But, like, you can tell... Marvel was like, oh man, everybody loved Endgame, let's pump out as many of these as we can, and not as much quality control and not as much, like, paying the writers to make things work. And then the pandemic, and then the shortage on CGI artists, and then the writer's strike.
Yeah. Like... It's one of those situations where it's like, we enjoy it as much as we can, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're not blind to just how, unfortunately, complicated things have become in regards to just, you know, the media we consume.
Yeah. Some people will say everything since Phase 3 has been bad, and I don't think that's true at all. I think there's a lot of great stuff in there, but, like, the machine itself has gotten really sloppy.
Yeah, it has.
And my hot take for everybody is that the Marvels is actually pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, it's not your fault that people didn't go see it. Like, Disney didn't market it right.
Yeah, that's true.
Disney did not know how to market it. But I don't agree with this idea that, like, it was like Captain Marvel... And then Monica Rambeau, Photon, who we'd seen in the WandaVision series. And then Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, who had her own Disney Plus series. And a lot of people wrote it off immediately because they're like, oh man, I need to watch, like, the Captain Marvel movie and then 2 other series to even, like, know what's happening. No, you don't!
Yeah, no, you
That's
really don't.
never been how it works. You watch whatever... like, this is, like, what it's like getting into comics, too, is, like, consume the media that you want to. Like, you'll be able to follow it. It's okay. And then if it interests you, go watch the other stuff.
And that also leads into something else that, like, has... Okay, so you were saying, like, consume the media that you want, right?
Yeah.
Which, like, I am wholeheartedly in agreement with. In a similar vein, hey, Poindexters, gatekeepers out there who are like, oh, like, if you don't do this, you don't do that, you're doing it wrong. No, let people consume the media the way they want to.
I mean, we talked about sub versus dub on a new Pokemon Snap a little bit ago.
We did, and in a similar vein, so I've been following this one streamer who's like, first of all, she's a girl, alright? Okay. I'm just gonna point that out right now because that is relevant, and she's been playing Elden Ring.
I don't know where you're going with this.
But yeah, she's been playing Elden Ring, right? And people know Elden Ring, it's a pretty hard game. Like, that game tends to test your wits, test your skills, test your patience, right?
Yeah.
And she's just streaming it, and she's just like, oh yeah, like, I play Elden Ring because I want to have fun, you know? Like, I don't care if I, like, suck at it.
How dare she?
Exactly.
It's supposed to be hard, you can't have fun.
And so many people are coming in and it's like, oh, dude, like, why are you not using this, like, power set? Like, where's your death counter and all that? And she's just like, look, if you're gonna come in here and be toxic to me and, like, my fans just because we're having fun here playing Elden Ring, you've come to the wrong stream, go bother someone else.
Yeah.
And honestly, I completely agree with her.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, like, if people are going to play a game, but they're playing it the way that you wouldn't normally play it yourself, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other Elden Ring streams out there that are like that, if that's what you want. So.
Like, if you want to watch someone, like, be absolutely ultra amazing at Elden Ring, go watch speedrunners.
Like, she's doing, like, this for herself and her audience.
Yeah.
You know?
Like go watch speedrunners. Like, they're amazing at games. They made it a whole they make it a whole science. But, you know, I digress.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I could... Not so much in this, because people are being assholes. I could see, like, debates on, like, Spy Family, like, what's better, the dub or the sub? Well, this is what I think. Like, I could see, like, spirited conversation about that, but, like...
Yeah,
don't tell people they're doing it wrong if they don't like the version you like.
Exactly. It's like... If someone likes the Japanese dub of Dragon Ball Z over the English dub, I'm gonna be like, personally, I like the English dub because I can't stand Goku's, like, grainy voice in the Japanese dub. But hey, like, you do you, King, by all means.
Yeah.
And if they enjoy it, I'm not gonna begrudge them for it. Heck no.
As far as getting the authentic experience goes, like that argument. I would say, unless you speak fluent Japanese, watching it subbed isn't the authentic experience anyway, because you're spending a lot of time reading instead of giving the animation your undivided attention.
I'm just gonna say right now, guys, if y'all are watching Demon Slayer, like, if you guys are watching Demon Slayer sub and you have to read those, like, subtitles, you're missing out on some of the cleanest animation ever put on screen.
Yeah.
Like, holy smoke. Though, the animation of Demon Slayer is immaculate.
I mean, yeah.
Like, obviously,
I'm dyslexic and I still watch some anime subbed.
Like, obviously, you do you. Like, if you want to, like, watch the... Like, because, like, I will say this. Like, I'll be the first to admit, the dubbing, or, like, the sub of, the Japanese dubbing of Demon Slayer, amazing. So is the English dub, quite frankly. I think they both are great.
A lot of things I'll watch dubbed because it's out faster. I mean, subbed because it's out faster.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Naruto, I prefer to watch it subbed. Pokemon, I'd rather watch subbed.
Same here, actually.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd rather watch dubbed because it's hilarious.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes a whole different thing in the dub.
Oh, absolutely. Like, okay, the dubbing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot more... Like, the Japanese dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot more... Did she run out of spells?
Oh.
I didn't even realize she ran out of spells.
Oh, no, Tasha. I guess Parker on one of the pillars so she gets a defense boost. She'll be fine.
I'm gonna take the L on that one. That's my bad.
Is there a...
1%.
Is there a CVS in this dungeon?
Okay, I'll take the L on that one.
I mean, it was fine. You got the full J. Jonah Jameson laugh going here.
I don't know why. I think I'm able to do it because I had a chai tea earlier. Which, by the way, well, yeah, I'm just gonna say right now, chai tea is just TT, guys.
Did you just seriously say chai tea?
I had some chai.
I need to watch Across the Spiderverse again.
Oh, this is great.
I haven't seen it since it was in theaters.
Such a good movie.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to talk about amazing animation? Freaking, Into the Spiderverse, don't freaking miss, man.
Oh my gosh, that version of the Vulture at the beginning that's like a Leonardo da Vinci sketch.
Oh my god, yes! Like, dude, you want to...
Yeah.
That was... that entire segment, like, the entire movie is just wonderful. Like, I love Into the Spider-Verse. Did it get robbed, like, at the awards? Maybe a little bit, but quite frankly, like, who takes that seriously anyway?
I don't remember who won.
I don't remember who won either. I think it was... Oh, no, you know what? I think it was, like... Was that during the same year as Moana? No, not Moana. Encanto?
Oh, this was... Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse. Yes? I think?
I'd have to look it up. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember.
Yeah, at the time I knew because I was like had watched this thing about like every animated movie ever to be nominated for best animated movie, but
that being said, the latest ones, I think I remember you and I talking about this. The latest ones that were nominated and everything. Just gonna say right now, congrats to Miyazaki for The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah,
wonderful movie.
He does not care.
Nope, he does
not
not care
that he got that award.
He's just doing it because he loves it, and you know what? Like, good on him, quite frankly, because he was like, he has had people coming up to him and being like, you know, pushing for the idea of going CG and like, you know, doing things that way, and he's just like, I'm not here to. If people want, if people like, if I make this movie and not a single person watches it, I don't care. I made something that I think was amazing, and I'm going to parade the fact that it was amazing. And on the other hand, if people came to enjoy it, great! I'm glad! Absolutely! Miyazaki is like a role model when it comes to the philosophy of creating things for yourself.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think that's a great philosophy.
I take that to heart a lot, yeah.
Because, like, it's true. Like,
Miyazaki's also a role model to being mean to your son, but that's a different story. Did you ever hear about, I think his name is Goro Miyazaki, I think? I could be wrong. But, his first movie in the director's chair was Tales from Earthsea.
I don't know about this, no.
And, it was another Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
And it came out in theaters, and somebody asked Hayao Miyazaki what he thought of his son's movie, like, right as he's leaving the theater, and he says, "My son is not yet a man. That is clear to me now."
Ooh.
Like, oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Gonna need a sensu for that.
Which, yeah. Which I think is kind of like, in The Boy and the Heron, there's a part where, like, you know, where he, like, gives the blocks to that boy, and he's like, you can set this tower up now however you want, and you can remake the world, it's your turn, I'm too old now.
Yeah.
And the kid's kind of like, I don't want to do that, I want to go back home, and, like, I'm not, like, pure and, like, free from, like, hatred or bad influence either, like, I can't be the one to do that. And I think that's kind of Hayao Miyazaki's way of, like, wrestling with the fact that he, like, set his son up for, like, impossible to meet standards.
I see. So it's like, I suppose you could say it's one of those things where it's like, you know, he acknowledges the situation, and he's still kind of, like, figuring out how to deal with it.
Yeah, and, like, so, like, at the end, like, nobody takes those blocks. Nobody's going to, like, keep this world up anymore, because, like, if this really is Hayao Miyazaki's last movie, like, this is over. Your work is over. Your son's job isn't to continue your work. Whatever he does is going to be his thing, and it's not bad if it's not as good as yours.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think, what Hayao Miyazaki is like. realizing and like working through with that aspect of the movie.
Which, you know what, I like, that's kind of an understandable like sentiment to have, because like, again, I'm not trying to justify Miyazaki's like method of like how he treats his son. Like that is a whole different can of worms, and that business is between him and his son.
He's got an artistic temperament. What
he really does.
Say?
He really does.
Artists be crazy sometimes.
Oh yeah. That being said, at the very least, this is probably something that speaks more like about him than like one might expect. At least he's acknowledging it in his own kind of like, in his own like weird way.
It is still like a little narcissistic because he's like, oh man, I've made all the best movies. My son will never be as good as me, and that's okay. Like, fuck, man.
Like that's probably not the take you should have with that kind of like idea. But you know what? Like you do you. Your business, like how you go about your business, is going to be between you and your son. That's really all I can really say about that.
But like, it is true that he's an industry giant.
Oh, absolutely! Like no questions asked.
There's not going to be another Hayao Miyazaki anytime soon.
Absolutely.
There might be. Yeah, what is it? Somebody. Oh man, I can't remember who was an interview with. Maybe it was like Millie Bobby Brown or something like that, where they were like, oh man, you're like the next Mara Wilson, and she says, no, I'm the first me.
Yeah?
Or something like that.
In a similar vein, kind of reminds me of when we did top 10 ninjas recently, and we were discussing the fact that the professor of ninjutsu in Japan is going to be like taking the secrets to the grave. Like, he is not teaching an heir.
Yeah.
He is like the secrets of ninjutsu are going to like he's the end.
Yeah.
Like that is the finish.
We're going to continue to understand ninjutsu as a
piece of history.
As a piece of history, but not as a practice.
Yeah. That the practice is actually legitimately dying.
Yeah.
Which, in a way, is kind of poetic, but at the same time, like, you know, I can imagine why that would make some people kind of sad. It's like, oh man, like that's like something that we're never going to be able to get back, in a way.
Yeah.
Which,
in another way, though, like, do we still need to teach people to like walk up walls and like
not really
hold dark sheets in front of themselves to hide from searchlights?
That's why I like Mark of the Ninja so much, because it's like, like these techniques that like they can work on these like futuristic like situations and more advanced technologies and whatnot. Is it practical? Hell no.
I think the story of Mark of the Ninja, is like about the last hurrah of the ninja.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like I think they handled it beautifully. Like, I love that game.
Don't know if that was like at all the intent of the game, but that's what it is to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you. A lot of times, art isn't what was put into it; it's what you take out of it.
Amen to that. And that is actually another thing that I feel more people need to understand is, and this goes for like both audience and creators, is that, you know, it's a classic saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see someone play, relating back to what we were talking about earlier, Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Relating back to Elden Ring, it's like, oh yeah, like one person will see, holy crap, like this is a really, really cool game that like I can challenge myself with, I can really test myself with, I'll be able to like build all the best like techniques and use like my reflexes to be able to conquer this game. Other people are going to see it as like, holy smoke, like these environments are so detailed, this lore is so amazing, what's this guy about? Like, this guy who kicked my butt, but he's like a really, really nice guy, like, apparently, in the lore, and like, what's the story behind Melania and the tragedy that she suffered? One person is seeing it as a challenge, the other person is seeing it as a world to explore.
Yeah, and I think if the game puts in accessibility options like that, like an easy mode, or even like the mimics that you can summon in Elden Ring and stuff like that, then that's them, like, that's the game dev, like, kind of giving permission for you to use them.
Yeah, it's like...
Or super guide in a Nintendo game.
One person saw it as a challenge, the other person saw it as a world to explore. Neither are wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's, like, the really, really cool thing about video games, like, to me personally, is the fact that, like, there are so many different ways to go about it, and, like, no one way is necessarily wrong. Look at Fire Emblem. Like, freaking, like, casual mode was made for a reason, but you know what? I'm not gonna begrudge someone for playing casual mode because I get it!
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna bring it up because I don't want to, like, curb stomp somebody, but I just thought of that one comment on your latest video that we both commented on.
Oh my god.
Where I'm just like, what is your malfunction, dude?
Oh my... It's like, brother, if that's the kind of thing that you're going to be saying on my channel, you came to the wrong goddamn place.
I pay my taxes. I donate to charity sometime.
I am not...
Let us talk about video game deserts.
I am not here. I am not here to feed your existential crisis ego, okay? I am here to talk about silly things about, like girls in harem outfits that are a reference to Star Wars and, like, this really, really cool, like, lore that's buried under a bunch of sand on two, like, binary planets. I'm not here to talk about fucking, like why the world is imploding on itself.
Top 10 things adding to economic crises.
Oh my god, dude.
Number 10, inflation.
Those of you who saw that comment probably know what the hell we're talking about. And I'm not gonna say names. I don't even remember the guy's, like, username. Hell no.
Number 9, climate change.
But, like, come on, guys. Like, I'm here to talk about video games and shoot the shit and give you guys a reason to, like, forget about stuff for a little while. I'm not here to preach why...
I mean, I'm
not here to preach why our president sucks.
That's what the Blasphemous Let's Play is for.
Even then,
not really. Not really.
God damn it! You gave me a good reason now.
That Blasphemous is to preach about other stuff.
Yeah, I'm here. Like, Blasphemous is actually me preaching about the Bible.
It's funny because
while playing a really cool game about the Bible.
It's funny because during this Let's Play in particular, I've, like, gone on my high horse a few times, and I've worried that I've, like, gotten to, like, talk about real things when we're all trying to, like, do escapism. But I mean, this person thinks we're not doing enough.
Brother, you do.
Also, they might be a bot.
Yeah, that's also true. Like, he didn't even have a profile pic.
Yeah.
The thing is, like another one of my users, like, or my audience members, responded to him, and he responded. Like, he responded back.
Yeah.
And so, like, for all intents and purposes, like, he might not actually be a bot, so whatever. But at the same time, it's like, motherfucker, get off your high horse. I'm not here to argue with you.
Have you heard of the dead internet theory?
Oh, like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that, like, the internet is already dead, and, like, most of it, like... You definitely see a lot of posts on social media that are, like, made by AI and then being liked and commented on by other AI.
Oh, yeah.
It's just bots liking bots.
Dude, PM Seymour did a whole video about that, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was really funny, but it was terrifying to think about. Like, I don't even want to explore that possibility. Heck no.
It really is like the end of iRobot. Like, the robots have already taken over the world, and we haven't realized it, and they haven't realized it.
Attention, everyone! Run for your lives! Robots have taken over the world! Our world! And panic ensues.
I'd like you to play that song again. It goes beep boop boop bop boop boop beep.
No, you're thinking beep boop boop bop boop boop bop. Beep boop boop beep bop. Oh my goodness.
Beep bop
boop boop bop. Oh.
It is the most quotable show.
It really is. Like, we were talking about The Simpsons earlier. One show that I think got ruined by Flanderization was definitely SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like, no questions asked. But I digress. Huh. Not terrible, actually. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, I think that's a good move.
Yeah, why not, right? Let's see where this train takes us. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, keep doing your best, and if you have time to, like, begrudge others just because you don't agree with how they're doing good things, go touch grass. Go, like, you know, if you have the time to do that, you have time to do other things, go read a book. Like, honestly, though.
Reading books is pretty tight. and stay in school.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Unless they're prescribed by a doctor or... I mean, over-the-counter drugs. There's some drugs you can do, kids.
Responsibly.
If your kids don't.
Drink responsibly, too.
And if you're under 13, you shouldn't be on YouTube. This isn't YouTube's kids.
No, it's not.
You can't have an account.
See, I know you're not a bunch of stupid kids, because I say fuck a lot and you're okay with that.
Yeah, to all the parents sitting responsibly with their 8-year-old while they watch Green Scorpion, hi, how you doing? Hope you've been getting some sleep.
The funny thing is like, I actually do have some, like, audience members that watch my stuff with their parents.
Cool.
And I'm like, dude, that's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Like,
you got some cool parents.
You make my day when you tell me that crap, man. Like, I love the idea of, like, my audience watching my videos with their parents.
You know what I love? This is a stupid little thing.
Yeah?
But when people when a Green Scorpion video comes out and somebody says, "Oh man, and on my birthday too, that's so exciting," I always tell them happy birthday then.
Oh, absolutely.
I always comment
absolutely.
happy birthday.
I miss that.
If I see it...
I miss that personally sometimes. It's like, you know, I don't always get to it, but yeah, I see that and I'm like, happy birthday, man. I'm glad I could make your day a little bit better.
I've been reading less comments lately with interest in my own mental health.
Good for you.
But I still read a lot of them.
No, I read most of my comments, to be honest. Like, yeah,
you guys are mostly positive.
I'm just gonna say right now, like, to those of you guys who wonder if I read your comments, I do. Like, I absolutely do read your comments. I just don't get to it all the time.
And I mean that.
Or, like, I just don't respond.
That one person that I just talked about, that like completely out of pocket comment, I still honestly enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
no,
it made me laugh. Like, I was like, dude. Really?
You are going through it.
Like, I get it, but like...
Assuming you are a real person.
Uh-huh. Dude, like, I still thrive with negative comments. Do I need to remind you of the Asriel Dreamer comments?
Asriel Dreamer, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. That one was from Top 10 Crushes, and it remains one of my favorite comments that I have ever received in my entire life.
We have to frame that one.
Dude, like... If you decide to frame that for me and like give it to me as a gift for like Christmas or birthday, I'll be satisfied.
I'll be honest, and like is giving away future. I've almost done it like 3 times, and then I found something else, and was like too lazy to actually do it.
I'm not going to begrudge you for that.
Because it would cost me like $2 for a picture frame.
One of these days. One of these days.
Bang. Zoom.
Speaking of which, Gage, I'm still waiting for my #1 verdant arachnid mug. Like, Gage made this, like, image of me, like, absolutely begrudgingly staring at, like, something, holding a cup of coffee with, like, that says #1 verdant arachnid. I just look so done.
Oh,
and
man.
that, like, that is a mood, man.
You're doing, like, the Shinji from Evangelion pose.
Basically! Basically, like, with Aizawa eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Like, absolutely. Ah, man. I enjoy my time with you, man. Seriously.
We have fun.
We have so much fun together. What's the next
water?
What?
There's a canal.
What?
This place is pretty.
We were just talking about we were just talking about separating the party.
They separated the party again. So listen, we don't have to bring Hayden back.
No, we are not doing that, especially because there are a lot of magic. There's a lot of magic damage on this map.
Yeah, I might have to take this one a little more seriously.
Oh, boy. We're bringing him, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're still bringing him.
Mulder is serious business.
No, like, we're dedicating to the bit at this point. Like, Mulder's coming with us no matter what.
You don't grow a mustache like that as a joke.
Alright, then. So, yeah. Next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, we're going to tackle this whole spiel. This, look, I will say this, though, because of the whole canal thing, and because he actually did well, I would not mind bringing Glenn back.
Glenn can
I think Glenn can handle this.
Yeah.
Although, it is magic we're dealing with, that's...
He could be our pinch hitter, and we can bring a bunch of good resistance characters.
Alright. Remind me to give Mulder the barrier staff.
Sure.
we'll have to do that. I'm the Green Scorpion.
I'm the ComicFoil.
Stay in school, be nice to each other, and make sure to kindness triumphs overall. Everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
If you want to watch Naruto with the dub, that's fine, even though the dub is shit!
You're gonna kill me here, man.
It's been a day.